I am Babla Jonathan, and this is the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television, live from my headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. In our top stories in this edition of the news, the President of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya, sends an inquiry commission to Garbu in the Donga-Mantum Division, northwest region of Cameroon, to find out what exactly happened on the 14th of February 2020 when several inhabitants were killed in that locality, and the commission has 8 days to deliver its reports. And taxi drivers go on strike in the southwest regional chieftown Boya over military harassment. Thanks, dear viewers, for joining us on this edition of the news on Equinoxe Television. The head of state of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya, has dispatched a commission of inquiry to Garbu in the Donga-Mantum Division, northwest region of the country, and the commission is charged with the responsibility of finding out what exactly happened in that locality on the 14th of February 2020. This is a date that the people will hardly forget, as over 20 persons were killed in that locality, according to sources on the ground, and of course non-governmental, local and international non-governmental and human rights organizations. However, the government of the Republic of Cameroon has maintained that only 5 civilians were killed in the incident in Garbu, what is known today as the Garbu massacre in the Tumbo subdivision, Donga-Mantum Division, northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. That incident occurred in the Tumbo, of course, in the Ndu subdivision, Donga-Mantum Division of the country, and the commission of inquiry has 8 days to deliver its report. The information was made public today by the governor of the northwest region, Adolphe Lafrique, who was in the locality of Tumbo to provide some humanitarian aid to the people in that part of the country. And some top military officials were equally in the village of Tumbo in the Ndu subdivision, northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, and some of the people recounted their traumatizing experience to our reporter Mbu Stella. She compiled the story.
But that one for that side, our first problem, when they come do things and we already want them no more.
Which one?
That one the way they get for ranch.
For ranch?
Yes. They come here, when they come sometimes, when they cross water, they beat people.
Anyway, we make away with the overfear. When some army then they come, only the big picking and say na amber. When we amber, my picking where my picking only I get only 2 picking and if you send them for amber. So they beat them, the picking don't only me one understand for here where they have.
The February 14 incident in Garbu is still fresh in the minds of many. Garbu is not in Menchum, but the brutal killings of children and pregnant women has been disturbing enough to cause panic.
If they don't say army, they come, we go wrong, we go strong for bush. Even me, I didn't have to go the wrong way. I carry stick, but they come bush now. Another big way, it's the 60 where we go to bush where I wrong way.
Aware of these complaints and more, with accusing fingers pointing at the soldiers on ground, Brigadier General Carvalho, commander of the 5th Joint Military Region, is on the field to assure the population measures are being taken for their safety.
Military here, military people. Yes. They are here for your security, for your protection. Yes. And that you have to help us fight amber. That amber thing no get future. If you get your picking, who dey amber, tell him lay down weapon. We welcome them.
General Carvalho is in Menchum to re-establish a cordial relationship between the military and the population. A relationship broken by happenings as the crisis drags on. He also visited the stretch of road linking Esu to Furawa under rehabilitation by the Military Engineering Corps.
I'm satisfied, but you still have a lot to do because We have the bridge on the Katina River, and then we have 17 kilometers from Katina to Furawa. You know, it's open, and then the population, the military, and everybody can come and go to Nigeria without any problem.
Fang, Esu, Wei, Benakuma, to name these few, have had their share of hardship imposed by the socio-political crisis. It is just time for the right things to be done for a return to normal life. For the longer it tarries, generations to come will pay for the things that happen today.
Our Northwest correspondent Stella reporting there on the visit of some top military officials in the Northwest region to Esu in the Menchum Division, Northwest region of the Republic of Cameroon, and we shall be giving you a vivid picture of the impact of the Anglophone crisis on Esu in the Menchum Division, Northwest region of Cameroon later in this newscast. In the meantime, man of God, the Archbishop Emeritus of the Bamenda Metropolitan Archdiocese of the Roman Catholic Church, His Grace Cornelius Fontem Eswa, says that the solution to the Anglophone crisis can only be divisible, as he is against what some people have been saying, that Cameroon is one and indivisible, because according to him, the country, the two parts of the country are divided in terms of their cultural, their socio, or better still, their legal and their educational heritage. He spoke to the Insight. Take a listen.
We are thinking within a box. And that box is the centralized system. I think the Anglophone problem will be solved when we get out of the centralized system and look at other alternatives as far as the organization of the country and the government is concerned. I believe that federalism is, I would say, the least we can receive in order to solve the Anglophone problem. I do not agree with those who want the separatists, those of the separatists. In our memorandum, we have tried to analyze that. We have tried to analyze the various options and the various opinions, you know. And if you're asking my personal opinion to keep Cameroon one must be divisible. Because it's a cliche that Cameroon is one and indivisible, because it's not true. Culturally, we are divisible. Language-wise, we are divisible. The law-wise, we have inherited that. So anybody who says Cameroon is one and indivisible is a fallacy. And so we would have to handle that issue very squarely and objectively. And that's what I call the truth. The truth must prevail. There is no doubt that there are people of both sides, you know, that cherish their heritage. And the only way of keeping Cameroon together is to respect the respective heritages that we do have.
His Grace Cornelius Fontem Eswa, Archbishop Emeritus of the Bamenda Metropolitan Archdiocese of the Roman Catholic Church, speaking there. Coming up, Southwest correspondent Derek Jato takes a look at how the new mayor of Alu Council in the Lebialem division will handle the challenges on his shoulders, notably challenges linked to the socio-political and security tensions reigning in Anglophone Cameroon for close to 4 years. Today, his report.
Councillor Met Sadetem Pierre Marie has stepped into the shoes as the new mayor of Alo Council. He will be part of those who will build the new Lebialem division.
We are not going to serve Alo people. Election is behind us. We shall work as a team, and you know me very well. We are going to bring back the constituency budget so that at the end of each year, each councillor must show with his hand where he has realized in this.
Alo, one of the subdivisions that made up the Lebialem division, had also long lost what it used to be its identity, and today's silence is the only thing present in many homes here in Alo subdivision. Reason why this elective council session of Alo municipality is very decisive. The men people on board must be men and women of action, to give the rebirth that the subdivision of the BLM division has been yearning for. And the mayor-elect, Met Satetem Pierre Marie, says he is going to work immediately, promising to collaborate.
The first thing we have to do in order to do something here in Alo is to throw our weight behind the due for peace or for good condition to be established in Alo.
The officiating officer, Ambang Fabian Carr, divisional officer for Alo subdivision, while appreciating the Alo councillors for the peaceful elective session, also added that what the public want to see next are the results announcing the end of the crisis in Alo subdivision.
I'm very happy with my mayor. I want to think that with him we'll put the social condition in our place to rest.
Since 2016, this subdivision of the BLM division has also had very terrible moments as the separatist fighters and the Cameroon armed forces kept exchanging fire here, transforming the once peaceful Alo into a battlefield.
The once peaceful Alo subdivision in the BLM division southwest region of Cameroon transformed into a battleground with continuous gun battles recorded here and there in that part of the country. And of course, coming up, we take you to the town of Buea, where some taxi drivers in the regional capital went on strike today, protesting against military harassment. Innocent.
Buea city dwellers trekking to their various destinations, long and short, Thursday, February 27th. Reason: taxi drivers decide to quench their engines outside the Moliko Municipal Stadium over multiple controls on the roads, often accompanied by alleged police harassment and money extortion. That they labor in vain, as most of the uniformed men have exploited the Anglophone crisis to squeeze money from taxi drivers unscrupulously.
Ici, on will meet up police control in a Muya control. The one come on my 18 in only 5 meters. You meet up patrol mix. They take all thing. You know, give money, you get problem. You give money, all thing you work.
Their wish is for these multiple checkpoints to be reduced, as well as zero intimidation of drivers.
We taxi people. Now you to make us say town may know that, but they intimidate you again. It means they will know what any town worker.
Local administrative authorities, headed by Abba Abdurrahman, the divisional officer, went to the Moliko Municipal Stadium to meet the rioting and disgruntled taxi drivers. He seems to be aware any uniformed man does control.
The problem now say it be like say all man the enter begin the check. And anyhow.
He promises to talk with all security heads for harmonization to avoid chaos.
We will make sure say we harmonize and not create a situation where we fight among ourselves when we want fix things there. You people are in charge of follow up. Any contrary situation, report to me. You can't carry me, we go meet. Mo begin to control me and you. They control me.
Cooling the hearts of the taxi drivers with this statement, he reminded them to denounce and report charlatans in the sector.
We want to say like big boys there. Wanna organize, wanna self facilitate their identification so that
this, he says, should be facilitated through procurement of identification documents.
I want to say for inside town, more wanna begin circulate freely.
Before departing, Abba Abdurrahman pledged to the Buea taxi drivers putting in place of a monitoring system and work with the police and gendarmes to ensure uniformed men not assigned to conduct controls but are found doing so are sanctioned.
Insecurity remains a serious problem threatening lives in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. City dwellers are often attacked and either killed or deprived of their belongings, and some of the suspected bandits have been arrested. They were arrested during an operation led by Commander Bobom Jean Lambert. Manjikan Gebre has more.
Musa was the scapegoat who fell into the drag net of the gendarmes in Beseke Douala. He is specialized in the stealing of cars. His arrest came after gendarme officials had received several complaints in their office. My car was stolen Friday early in the morning. I came and dropped a complaint with the gendarmes, who promised to bring back the car. As all the posts were notified, 48 hours was enough for them to find my car. On February 20, 2020, I parked my car in my residence after I returned from work. The next day, as I prepared for work, only for me to discover that the car was no longer there. Immediately, I dropped complaints at the appropriate quarters. 24 hours later, I was happy to reunite with my car.
Spécialisé, la gendarmerie, la police, ainsi de suite. Et 24 heures après, j'ai été réjoui d'apprendre que la gendarmerie nationale a retrouvé le véhicule.
Thanks to several operations, Abaka Musa, who is alleged to be a member of the group specialized in stealing cars, was arrested. His arrest led to the revelation of other secrets. As we made investigations, we also saw other vehicles. This has helped us to stop this line of business. Abaka Musa is an ex-convict and has on several occasions been arrested and kept behind bars for the same crime. Still at the Beseke Gendarmerie premises, officials presented a certain Mbu Duche. It is alleged that he has been stealing from passengers on gunpoint and the food taken to separatist fighters. With him, officials of the gendarmerie discovered 2 locally fabricated guns and an automatic pistol alongside bullets. After he was investigated in Bamenda, where it is alleged the Dane pistols were made, he was sent to Douala, where investigations continue to find out where the automatic pistol was gotten from.
The Ministry of Secondary Education is stepping up efforts to curb violence in schools across the country. It has been organizing seminars in different parts of the country to educate school officials, teachers, and students on what they are supposed to do within the context of their responsibilities in order to assist the state in finding solutions to the problem of violence in schools. Details with Immaculate Fogwe.
Violent incidents recorded between teachers and students in some school milieus across the national territory has now become an eye-opener to the Cameroonian society.
The problem that students face in school is violence. Teachers have been violated and students bring harmful objects in schools like blades, scissors, and they even use compacts in times to defend themselves when the teacher wants to correct them. And students, the way they sew the uniform, they sew it very slim, like the boys are supposed to sew trousers that can come up right to their knee, but they decide to sew very slim trousers. And the girls, they sew some kind of skirts very short that are exposing their laps, which is not good in the school milieu.
In a bid to address the rising phenomenon of violence in school milieus, some officials of the Ministry of Secondary Education have organized a series of seminars across the national territory. At the end of the seminar that took place in the Mongo division of the Littoral region, the students who were represented by their class delegates gave their appraisals.
Seminar has helped us a lot. It has helped us because some have learned a lot. People now will no longer bring blades to school because the teachers are going out, they'll start searching the bags. So students that are caught with phones, their phones will be seized and the harmful objects will be seized from them so that there will be no harm in the school milieu.
According to the officials, the workshop is an opportunity for them to have a tete-a-tete discussion with the students so as to reduce the high rate of violence.
So this workshop have given us the opportunity to discuss with the students, to listen to them, and then give them some advice to reduce the violence, to reduce the consumption of drugs, and we think that it will tackle a bit the violence in our region.
We hope to eliminate the availability of drugs in schools, but unfortunately we cannot eradicate it entirely. But we have to insist by, first of all, struggling to sensitize the students, struggling to call on the administrators to identify the sources of these drugs in schools and to make sure that they prevent them from getting to the students. Then when we do that in many phases, it's going to help us now to ensure that we reduce it to a bare minimum level, the availability and consumption of drugs by students in schools.
Putting into practice all what has been said, according to the officials, will make school milieus conducive for learning and teaching.
And the corpse of Barrister Sylvain Swap, one of the lawyers who defended the Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM political party at the Constitutional Council after the October 2018 presidential election in the Republic of Cameroon, was removed today in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, and a host of personalities and lawyers were present, including the national president of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement CRM political party, Professor Maurice Kamto, and even the Minister of Labor and Social Security, Gregoire Owona, and other personalities, including leaders of the Bar Council who were present. And of course, Barrister Sylvain Swap died recently, and he died in the course of medical attention following an accident which he suffered. And some of the former colleagues of Barrister Sylvain Swap spoke to Équinoxe Television. Take a listen.
Grateful. It was so attaching to us that I don't know, I'm speechless.
Okay, he left back quite some memories, some impacts that you can always remember, like in the party that the Cameroon Renaissance Movement. Can you say anything that the remark that he actually made that you think you will never be forgotten?
Yes, I think that you saw him doing the Constitutional Court audience, and you saw his stand about human rights in Cameroon. So from that, I think that nothing will be the same again from what the legacy he left for us.
I'm sorry, we feel bad that he has passed on so soon, but well, suffice it to say, I've sat with him at the level of the Bar Council, and in fact he was seated next to me. That's why I cannot afford that he be buried without me. That's why I'm following the corpse right to Baham, where he will be buried after tomorrow. I will be right there myself, because he sat next to me, and off record we have been discussing a lot of things, and I discovered that he's a gentleman and a real professional. Besides the fact that he was a junior colleague, but I discovered in him the qualities of a senior colleague. Somebody who was maybe just, if you can compare it to somebody of 5 years standing, but he was actually representative of somebody who has been more than 15 years standing, because of his composure, his level-headedness, his being disciplined, his way of talking. He's never emotional, but very sound in reasoning. In fact, Mr. Swap was had all the qualities of a good lawyer. I really regret this loss. This is a terrible loss to the community, to the Bar Association particularly, to the Bar Council, and to the entire Cameroonian community. He was a disciplined lawyer. He was a highly reputed lawyer, and I'm sorry, we feel bad that he has passed on so soon, but well, to God be the glory. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay.
Some of the colleagues or former colleagues of Barrister Sylvain Swap giving testimonies of who he was, and his mortal remains will be laid to rest on Saturday in Baham in the West region. of the Republic of Cameroon. And I told you earlier in this newscast that will give you a vivid picture of one of the localities hit badly by the Anglophone crisis in the northwest region of the country. Esu is in the Menchum division in the northwest region, and our correspondent Stella was there, and this is what she brought back.
Esu in Menchum division. This is just an evidence some battles of the Anglophone crisis were fought here. In the minds of these children, women and men, are stories of how fierce some of the battles were.
I mean, they enter and then that boy they be there. So as they shoot now, we run home, we fear say straight to the whole week. I start sick for you. I will be the run at the bush where they carry me. They won't go with me for mission. We are not fit talk. And then I'll be there 1 month, 2 weeks before they operate me. As I can't dance so, we're not there. I think for Friday, the doctor will give me a rendezvous for 2 weeks. I never go up. Money not there. So much in the way with the cell too. I put the way they buy with them. They don't run. And then no man not there for Esu. Now when they don't start, they come back.
This is one of the stores at the market. Its present state shows evidence of what happened. It was forced open and the inhabitants say their goods were looted.
One camber, one sewer has the down.
The town was deserted, houses burned down, and today, even as they struggle to return, they are forced to flee.
I want to thank you as you become rescue, you send this army the way they come for help, come give peace. Since when they come, we go for peace. There's some small problems and they find more talk. Because then all the family with them. Go for them to hear then they find. But that one for that side, the first problem, when they come do things and they do one they don't know.
Which one?
That one the way they go for ranch.
For ranch?
Yes. They come here when they come sometimes when they cross water they beat people.
They make away with the overfear. When some army then they come, only the big picking say na amber. When be amber, my picking where my picking only I get only 2 picking. I no be send them for amber. So they beat them. The picking they don't run. Only me one I stand for here where they has.
The February 14 incident in Gabu is still fresh in the minds of many. Gabu is not in Menchum, but the brutal killings of children and pregnant women has been disturbing enough to cause panic.
If they don't say army, they come, we go wrong, we go strong for bush. Even me, I didn't have to go the wrong go strong. I carry stick, but they come bush now. And about big way, the sister where we go to bush where I wrong go.
Aware of these complaints and more, with accusing fingers pointing at the soldiers on ground, Brigadier General Valer, commander of the 5th Joint Military Region, is on the field to assure the population measures are being taken for their safety.
Military here, military people.
Yes.
They are here for your security, for your protection.
Yes.
And that you have to help us fight amber. That amber thing no get future. If you get your pikin, who dey amber, tell him lay down weapon. We welcome them.
General Valer is in Menchum to re-establish a cordial relationship between the military and the population, a relationship broken by happenings as the crisis drags on. He also visited
a Northwest correspondent Stella reporting there, and the foundation stone of the Yagua Bongo Bridge linking Cameroon and Chad has been laid, and the ceremony took place today in the locality of Bongo along the banks of the Logun and the Sharing River of the Logun River, and of course it was presided at by Chadian President Idriss Déby Itno in the presence of Cameroon's Prime Minister, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Jankuti, personal representative of the Head of State of Cameroon, Paul Biya, and the 660-meter long bridge will cost 74 million francs CFA, and the project is expected to be fully executed by January 2023. And the Cameroon border with Chad covers a distance of 194 kilometers, and this other bridge that is being constructed over the Logun and Sharing River is expected to curb the 70 cases of drowning recorded annually in that part of the country. Talking Point is up next. Thanks for staying with us in Talking Points. We are receiving a political analyst, Lonla Blasius. You're welcome.
Thank you, Babila Jonathan. Thank you for inviting me.
What do you think about the inquiry commission dispatched to Ngabu in the northwest region by the head of state and given 8 days to provide or to deliver their report on what exactly happened? What happened in that locality on the 14th of February?
Babila Jonathan, it's a sad situation to realize that what happens in the northwest region, that's in Ngabu village, is something that most of us, even the international community, they regret it. And if the Cameroon government, or if the president of the republic assigned people or assigned an investigation committee to go and investigate something that even those people in the community, they was crying foul that it is his military that carry on the act, and the international community, they are sitting quiet or sending the government to go and investigate something. How can you investigate something that you carry on an act and they send you to go and investigate? What kind of result are we expecting, Mr. Babila Jonathan? It means the person will still come back to tell you that it was the opposite camp that did the act, for which is the lie.
The United Nations and other organizations have been calling for an independent inquiry or investigation into what happened in that locality. And now the head of state decides to send a commission to investigate the matter. Is it not a positive response?
What is really making us to be angry, or some of us, an individual, to be angry with the United Nations, is that they are just talking, but they are not taking actions. When you said you have assigned or you send some people to go and investigate, and the head of state and say, okay, I will send somebody. When we are investigating something, following the incident that happened, we discovered that with all the information that we got from the field, all those that we interviewed or those that they interviewed, everyone was accepting that it was the military that carried on the acts. And if the president, as he always says, that his military always carry on, or his military, the work that his military always do is professional, and you are sending again a professional military to go and investigate a professional act that they have carried, it means we are not expecting any positive result.
It's not the military anyway. We don't know the members of the commission as of now, but we simply know that there is a commission that has been set up by the head of state to go and investigate the Ngabu incident, and they are expected to deliver results in 8 days.
Mr. Jonathan, when we are talking of investigations, we are not talking of a civilian to go and investigate something. A military or a uniformed person must be inside, because it is something that they did. It is their own duty. It is their work that they study in school or during their training to investigate an incident. So when we are talking of investigation committee sent by the President of the Republic, we are not thinking of people or a civilian that the President will send to go and investigate. There must be uniformed people inside. And when the people of that community crying that it was the military that carry on, or uniformed people that carry on that act, and you are still planning to send your people, for which we know that there must be uniformed people inside the investigation committee, what are we expecting? What kind of result that we are expecting from that kind of committee to come up with it? Is it positive or negative?
Sources on the ground, the people in the locality are saying that the military committed the act, and the government is also saying that it was an unfortunate thing that happened during the military operation, during a battle with the separatist forces, and the fire emanated from the presence of some illegal fuel that was stored in the area, and so on. But when you look at all of these and the conflict of figures now existing, with the Human Rights Watch saying that this thing was deliberately committed according to their own sources. It was deliberate killing. And then there was no gun battle with the separatist fighters according to their own sources on the ground. 21 people died. And then government is saying, no, it's not 21, just 5. The Minister of External Relations, Legend Belambela, maintained this death toll earlier advanced by the Ministry of Defense and Communication at the United Nations Human Rights Commission. When you look at all of this, can we really expect something to come out from this investigation?
Mr. Babila Jonathan, it is very good for us to start knowing that when we say separatists, the separatist leaders that we are having today in our country are the government officials. Because when you are not ready to tell the truth, when you're not ready to speak the truth to the people, then you are helping to divide the people. You are helping to break the bonds that the love that the people was sharing or the people was having together. When you listen to the Minister of External Relations, Legion Belambela, that's what kind of information or what kind of investigation has he carried out that make him to come out with that kind of statistics that it was only 5%. If the Human Rights Watch, they are coming up with their own statistics, with their information, with the result of what they have carried on in the field. If we saw even on the video, we saw some of their officials on the field. We saw all
Human
the
Rights Watch examined satellite images.
With satellite images, and even those that they interview, even the parents, some of the parents that lost their children, they interview them and they say it clean and clear that it was the military that carried on that investigation or that carried on that act. So, what can the Minister of External Relations, what information or what concrete information can he really give to an international or to the international community or to the Cameroonian people to really understand, to stand by them, to believe that what he is saying is true? Have they the investigation committee that they sent to the field, have they come up with their result? They have not come up with any result. And the Minister of External Relations has already go on air and said no, it was 5 and it was not 23.
That information first came from the Ministry of Defense and then was reiterated by the Minister of Communication and Government spokesperson, who all indicated that some preliminary findings were done, and that was the information that he got concerning the death toll and circumstances surrounding the incident.
Mr. Babila Jonathan, the truth is bitter and it must be spoken. The simple truth is you cannot carry on an act and they sent you to go and investigate the same act that you carry, and you will come out to say, no, I did this act and this was the exact things that happened. This is the exact number that I killed. It will never happen. The military carry on the act. The military killed those people that we are talking about today. And if the Minister of Defense can stand up to say they killed 23, it means he is really God sent. So we were not expecting something from him to even say the truth, because Cameroonians or the ministers of defense or all the ministers in Cameroon, they have already been cooked in such a way that they can never say the truth. And what we need to know as from today is, when some of us are always saying that we should go back to the root cause of this problem, we should go back. Going back to the root cause means we should at least start saying the truth. We should at least face the truth. What is really happening? If we see A, we should say, no, this is A that did this, so that we can at least carry on the investigation and give all the exact information that the international community wants. Some people always say, Mr. Babila Jonathan, that we can solve our problems. Okay, we can solve our problems among us, or the problems within our own community, within our country, we can solve it. How can we solve a problem where there is nobody, no authority that will always come out plain to say the truth of what has happened? We cannot. So that is why some of us, we are pleading and we are crying for the international community to come for our rescue. They should come for our rescue, because it is only them that can really help to stop these things. our authority, the ministers, that's even from the president to the DO, they are bent to destroy the people. They are bent to kill the people, and when they kill, nobody will talk. We need people from out there to come and stand and defend and fight for the innocent, and fight for those who does not have this weapon, and fight for those who do not even know how to help themselves. They are innocent citizens. There are innocent people out there that are dying for something that they don't know, but something that they have never committed.
The question somebody listening to you now will be asking is, how can a leader or leaders decide to kill the same people they are expected to lead? Because you're saying that government authorities are bent on killing the people, but the authorities are saying, no, we are not there to kill the people. The military is not there to kill the people. We are there to protect the people. We are there to take care of those people, to ensure that they are living well, and so on and so forth. And the head of state in many of his outings has been repeatedly saying this, indicating or expressing his determination to restore peace in those two regions and so on.
Thank you for that question, Mr. Babila Jonathan. If the head of state himself can come out plain and say, my military, or I will make sure that the military does put an end to anyone, stop anyone that wants to divide this nation. Who are those that we call Amber today, Mr. Babila Jonathan? It will shock you to understand that all of us Anglophones are called Ambers. I was in around Bonaberry, that's around Rai, where somebody called an Anglophone person, as a Francophone call an Anglophone person, that c'est sont les Amber là, voilà les Amber là, c'est lui qui est en train de faire ce qu'il est en train de faire là. Is that normal? If they are calling all Anglophones Amber, now look at what is happening. If you are Amber, I am Amber. We are innocent. We don't even know what is happening. The people who are even fighting this thing, they are in the prison. The real people that are in the prison, and some of them are out of the country. Those back there, they are not even those that we're supposed to be fighting. And if you say that all the Ambers will be killed, all the Amber will be destroyed, all of them will be, that's, you need to destroy anyone that is Amber. That means you want to kill all the Anglophones in general, because we are all Ambers. Okay, those children that was killed, are they Amber? They are not Amber. So how can we now identify or differentiate between Amber and Anglophones? Who is Amber and who is an Anglophone person? So if they are bent to destroy Amber, it means they are bent to destroy all the Anglophones. So all of us here in Douala is just because we have run away. We cannot even go back to our villages. If we go back to our villages, they will kill some of us because they know that we are Ambers. It means all Anglophones are Ambers. So
no, you said earlier that the international community is doing more of talking and no action. What action do you expect from the international community, from the United Nations, from the African Union, from friendly countries, Germany, England, or Great Britain, France, and all the rest, the United States?
Mr. Babila Jonathan, the action we are expecting from the international community, like the United Nations, which is world power for which we can say, is they should call on President Paul Biya to call on ceasefire, because if that is not done, all the Anglophones will perish. They should call on President Paul Biya so that he can call on ceasefire. They should call on President Paul Biya so that he can release those people that he put in prison. Because some of these guys in the prison, they have brothers, and some of their brothers are in the bushes trying to create 1 or 2 weapons to see how they can defend, or to see how they can fight, to see the release of their people from the prison. Why can't you release all those that you are put in prison? Why can't you call on this for the ceasefire? Why can't you call for the real dialogue that everybody, that even the world are yearning for? Why can't you call for it? And the international community, they are just there sitting and just talking. They are doing more of talking and not action. What we need is action. The United Nations, they have armies. United Nations, they have security. Let them send the army and the security to come and stop all these things. When they'll come, they will stop it. When they'll come, the President of the Republic will know that things are serious. They should not sit in their offices in Europe and whatsoever and start and only doing talking. We want action. And let me say it and say it again. Cameroonian will never, all all the Cameroonians with the authority, that's the President of the Republic with his ministers, they will never solve the problem. They will never solve the problem. The only people that can solve the problem is the international community. Let them come for our rescue, for the rescue of those that does not have that weapon to fight for themselves, those who do not have anything to defend themselves. We are praying that the international community, they should listen to us and come for our rescue. We want them, and we don't want any other person in Cameroon to stand up to say we can solve our problem, because we will never. If they allow all things and everything for Cameroonians that we will sit together as brothers and sisters and solve the problem, then all of us Anglophones in particular will perish, and that is what we don't expect. We don't want it to happen.
Lonla Blasius, political analyst, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Babila Jonathan, for inviting me.
Thanks, dear viewers, for staying with us. Goodbye.